Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Arts, crafts, stationery, journals, books, educational toys, wrapping paper, devotionals, greeting cards, and much more can all be found at Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg. Shop local to find the perfect gift or have a custom gift basket made for just the right occasion. Paper and Thread has a party room now available for birthdays, classes, and so much more. We could go on and on about all the neat things you'll find at Paper and Thread, but you just need to hop in your car and head down there. 106 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg is where you'll find them and discover what makes Paper and Thread awesome. That's Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg, 106 North Military Avenue, just north of the square.
For over 50 years, Southern Tennessee Regional Health System Lawrenceburg has been a cornerstone of care in Lawrence County. From cardiology to orthopedics, general surgery, primary care, and women's health, we offer compassionate expert care close to home. Our ER is now stronger than ever with more providers, chest pain accreditation, and our newest Joint Commission stroke accreditation because every second matters. Generations have trusted us for compassionate care and medical excellence. Faster, trusted, accredited. Emergency care with hometown heart.
Volco Auto Supply in Lawrenceburg has a legacy of being a family-owned and operated company. Since 1927, our business has grown and evolved into today's one-stop source for all your automotive supplies. But in that time, one thing has stayed the same, and that's our commitment to our customers and their needs. At Volco Auto Supply, you'll find everything for your car, truck, or even fleet of vehicles, but with good old-fashioned customer service the way it needs to be. That's Volco Auto Supply, 416 Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg. Visit VolcoAuto.com. Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs. Their expert services are for anyone ages 2 and older. Whether you struggle with environmental or food allergies, they've got you covered. Discover a better you at Tennessee Valley Allergy Services, located right next to the Zaxby's in Lawrenceburg. Book online or call 931-325-0757 to schedule your appointment today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome everybody here to X Sports Today. AJ Good, joined by Michael Marks. Bryant Gobble, my face is still cold from going to the Trash Pandas walk through Christmas lights last night. Just like I was telling them, we put my little daughter, she's almost a year old, and we had her all bundled up. We had all the blankets. We had the big puffy jacket, put her in the stroller, and every time you look down, she was like this.
So it's just Randy from the Christmas Story, pretty much, incarnated.
Yeah, except she can't walk. Well, she tries, but she can't really walk. So it was pretty funny just to have her like, is this over with? Can I get out, crawl around, pull all the pots and pans out of the kitchen? Can I do all those things? But guys, just it's been busy. Just when you think, Mike, you weren't here yesterday when we. We're talking about what's going on, but we've had some more guys. The quarterback transfer portal for college football is starting to get interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a bunch of names hit or announced that they're entering the portal, at least in the last 48 hours. And some big names, too. Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati, he had almost 3,400 yards this year, a ton of touchdowns, isn't a big turnover issue. So he's a popular guy. Dylan Raiola was obviously a top 2 or 3 guy in the class a couple of years ago. But his dad got fired from Nebraska. He tore his ACL, so it seems like it's probably just moving on there. But my favorite one, TJ Finley.
Yes.
has re-hit the transfer
saw
portal.
That keeps on giving.
So he is waiting right now for the NCAA to grant him another year of
Yeah.
college football, and it will be his 7th. And he's trying
With
to
a
make it
seventh
with a
diff-
7th different
different
school. He's been at LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky, Tulane, and is currently at Georgia State.
Yeah.
I say let him do it. I mean, I think because
Where else is he going to go at this point? Like his only options are like FCS teams.
I would
because
say so. He
He's
hasn't
hit
hit
every level of college football
Yeah.
as it is.
I would say maybe hit up a MAC school, but maybe they would take a shifty quarterback like Finley. And then Jaden Malava for USC has announced that he will be signing and returning to college next year. So that's huge for the Trojans. And maybe it looks like Lincoln Riley is going to survive this coaching carousel without going anywhere.
Finley reminds me, I believe there was a tight end from Miami last year that had like his 7th year of eligibility, and
It
he
was
was
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He was a
He was-
ninth-year senior last year.
Was he ninth year?
He was in Oregon for a while, and then he went to Miami.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, his last year in college and my last year of college were the same year, but his first year of college, I was in like the 4th grade.
Yeah.
So, funny how stuff like that works.
I was asking AJ yesterday, or discussing this. Tennessee is in the market for a quarterback. I need to ask your opinion as a fellow Tennessee fan. Who do you want?
So I was a big Brendan Sorsby guy.
Take
all
Levitt
season.
off the table. I feel like he's the obvious number one, right?
I would say I think Sorsby is my number one. I was a big fan of him last year. Dual threat option. He's a big quarterback. Some concerns with maybe his deep ball, but I mean, Cincinnati was a team that we thought was going to have their coach fired at the end of the year. Their record may not have been great, but they finished. They were
It was
7-1
better
at one
than
point.
predicted. I think
Yes.
they were like next to last below WVU to finish in the Big 12. And they both finished above.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colorado and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Tennessee needs a quarterback going into next year, I think. At least someone to
Didn't you
push
say he's got
who they got. So.
Yeah,
some
but
Knoxville
Sorsby has
ties?
his family apparently lives in Knoxville,
Okay.
so that could fare well. But like I was telling AJ as well, his girlfriend is transferred to Texas Tech, so maybe the folks in Lubbock can buy another playoff team. We'll just have to see.
Pool money, yeah.
Yeah, they got it.
Absolutely. But and Brian and I had good conversations about it. Like, what's the best option right now that's in that transfer portal? And where would be the best fit? Like, who's going to be needing a quarterback?
Miami is. I think they're
For
going to
sure.
kind of be like the Tennessee, where every year they just try to bring in a
Yeah.
new senior quarterback. I think that Lagway might be a name to look at Miami if he wants to stay around there. But I mean, right now it's tough to tell because Levitt's got 3 or 4 different places he's looking at. Sorsby's got a couple of places. There's really a ton of spots and not enough arms to fill them.
That's what I was thinking. Like the pool level it seems a little shallow this year, and there's going to be a big market for it. So Lagway might go and get a big check cut from someone just because there's so many people that need a quarterback team. We were thinking about LSU. Does Bryce Underwood transfer? Either if he does, then Michigan needs a quarterback.
Yes.
If he doesn't, LSU I believe still needs a quarterback. Right? Nussmeier's not coming back, so. Somebody needs a quarterback, whether it be Miami, Tennessee, all of these big schools. And don't forget, these quarterbacks are transferring from somewhere. So Arizona State needs a quarterback, right? Florida needs a quarterback. So I just saw the Georgia Tech quarterback, the backup. I can't remember what his name is. He like holds a record for like Georgia high school, I believe, passing yards or touchdowns. And I believe he hit the transfer portal. He's not coming back to Georgia Tech. So Tech's going to need somebody after Haynes King, and they don't seem like they have an apparent heir to the quarterback position there. So
I think a good name for somewhere like that. I don't know if he's already committed or already hit the portal or not, but I think Jackson Arnold's probably gone again. I mean that's got Brent Key's offense written all over.
But he's got he's the coach left, so he's probably crap, man.
I think we're probably going to see Sam Levitt do maybe like a Fernando Mendoza move and go to Indiana. I mean, you look at the last 2 quarterbacks that have transferred there. And nothing against them, but nobody was talking about Curtis Rourke prior to Indiana. And the same thing could be somewhat same thing could be said for Mendoza. Cal had some big moments last year, but he was a kind of a diamond in the rough, and look what Cignetti's turned him into. I think Indiana's probably going to be the hottest spot for a quarterback, but right behind them, Miami is going to be looking for one. Who wants to go play with Lane Kiffin? I mean, that's an interesting dynamic to look at.
Aaron Philo Philo
Yes.
was the guy I was reporting on. He holds a state record for passing yards, I
And I
believe,
think he's
in
a former
Georgia.
4 or 5 star as well. He's a pretty highly rated recruit, so there's a ton of places he could end up.
Well, some It's not surprising news, but Arch Manning will be returning for 2026 with Texas. His dad told ESPN, through a text message from Cooper Manning to Dave Wilson, that Arch is playing football at Texas next year. Not real shocking, but dude, you're an adult. Like, daddy should not be doing this for you. Like, I know Manning is that's a golden name, and it's sacred around these parts. It's sacred in the state of Tennessee. But at some point, bro, like, be a man. Send that text message yourself. Make that announcement yourself. Don't have daddy make it for you.
Well, what the heck are we doing? Why does somebody have to announce that they're going to go back to school next year? I think you make an announcement if you're going to leave. But, like I just mentioned with Maava, he announced that he's going to sign and come back to school. Well, you're not old enough to enter the draft yet, so you have to come back to school.
But maybe, did he, like, officially make an announcement? You're saying we're announcing this. Did Arch put out a statement, an announcement?
No, his dad
sent a text.
His dad sent a text
Okay,
message.
so maybe it wasn't, I don't know. I get it. Maybe he needs to be one to do that, but he isn't making like a big parade about it. He isn't putting a long social media post. He's been kind of isolating himself. He doesn't really he doesn't do social media. He doesn't.
Which I have zero issue with that. But
absolutely.
When it comes to something like this, like, get in front of it. Like, you're a starting quarterback. We know your family's had a lot of influence, and by the way, that they've made good decisions for you by putting you in this position. I completely agree with that. But at some point, like, okay, you've been the starting quarterback for a year, you've had all this hype, maybe you should get in front of it.
Well, and does he not see all the other disputes going down between college and high school athletes and their parents? I mean, there's a guy that was committed to Tennessee the other day, Legend Bay, who his mom would not sign his letter of intent because he wanted to go to Ohio State.
Right.
He was 17, so he couldn't sign that letter yet. And his mom wanted him to go to Tennessee, so his letter of intent went to Tennessee. And he turned 18, I think, yesterday, and requested his letter of intent. So hopefully that's all getting figured out. But parents are, we talked about it countless times on the show, parents getting in the way of athletes. I hope this doesn't turn into that where Cooper becomes his, like, spokesperson or something. Because
I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
You guys might see it a little differently, but I feel like this is not big news. Like, he's always kind of isolated himself and let other people do talking for him. So I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of the Manning, way, I guess, if you will.
Manning way. Well, let's move on to the NFL, guys. Good win last night for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they knock off the Dolphins, and it's them and the Ravens right there at the top, guys. Both sitting there. Let's take a look at the standings real quick here. They are
Pittsburgh's one game ahead. Is that right?
8-6, 7-7. So they are a game ahead. So that was a good win that effectively did eliminate the Dolphins from the playoffs, and the Dolphins were just not existent. I mean, Tua looked like he had played so good during that win streak and looked so good. Yeah. And then, so I was, again, freezing at the Trash Pandas ballpark, but they had the games on the screens in the concession stands. I'm watching that. I remember the first throw he makes, I go, good God, Tua, who the hell are you throwing that to?
He didn't look good at all. He's never going to beat the cold weather allegations. I mean, I guess that's what it comes down to. And there
does he know when football is played? Like, the important games in the NFL are December through February.
I mean, he's a Polynesian heritage, right? They're warm climate. Came to Alabama, played there. It doesn't get that cold in Tuscaloosa. But the minute he plays in Miami, but the minute they go north to have to play somebody important, he doesn't, or they're outside of a dome somewhere. He doesn't play that well. It's so weird. It really is. They did not look good at all, and ultimately this last playoff spot, the wild card, is going to go between, can someone catch Houston and who's going to win the AFC North? Because I think the rest of the AFC picture is set. We went over that yesterday, especially now that the Dolphins have fallen off. It's going to be interesting to finish. I was excited to watch last night Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, man.
He was pretty good.
He was zipping it. Like, that ball coming out of his hand, it's just so effortless with him. Like, that thing still has some zip on it. There was that window that he threw to DK Metcalf. I mean, I'm a defender. You're a defender. You're DK Metcalf. Like, he fits it right there. And I don't know how he does it. He's still good, and he's only got, a handful of games left in his career. As a football fan, I just enjoyed watching him
that
play.
Touchdown that Metcalf had where he threw off Minka Fitzpatrick, a former Steeler, and muscled his way in the end zone.
That was good.
The Steelers looked really good last night. Again, that might have been just the Dolphins running out of gas. You know, they turned some things around, might have saved their head coach at least for a year, but then it just went down the tubes.
Yeah, with the Dolphins, it's been really strange because we've seen two versions of the Dolphins. We had that, one this we saw the first couple of weeks of the season where they just looked nothing like a football team. Then they had that middle portion where they got on that big winning streak. Tua looked good. Yeah. It looked like their coach was going to be able to save his job. You got some guys like A-Chain, Jalen Wright making big plays. And then they head up north to some cold weather. Aaron Rodgers does what Aaron Rodgers does, slinging it around the yard. Yeah. And kind of crazy that technically the Dolphins got eliminated from the playoffs after the Chiefs. Yeah. Crazy to think, technically by one day.
They were still in it. A win would have kept them alive
for one more week.
Schedule for next week, guys. We do got some really good ones. Thursday night's huge. Brian and I talked yesterday. You've got 4 teams in the NFC with 10 wins or more. 3 are in the same division, and 2 of them play each other on Thursday with the Rams at Seattle. Doesn't look like Devontae. Hi, honey. Yes, I'm on air. The Rams will have Devontae Adams. Seattle still actually they got the Rams a 1.5 favorite in that game. Then we got a big game Saturday, Green Bay at Chicago.
Yep.
That's huge. They got Green Bay a 1.5 favorite. Look on down the line, Kansas City at Tennessee is huge. Just kidding.
It's a higher pick.
Yeah. Major implications for Tennessee.
We've got a lot of duds. I'm not kidding you, man. Minnesota at the Giants, the Jets at the Saints, the Bengals at Miami, Kansas. I mean, how many games do we have by teams that are eliminated? It's nuts. Yeah. However, Jacksonville at Denver is huge because remember, Jacksonville's still atop that division.
Yeah.
Houston is still coming. Pittsburgh at Detroit is huge.
Yep.
Houston does have Vegas. They should win. They're 14-point favorites there. New England and Baltimore is huge.
It's going to be big.
San Francisco at Indianapolis on Monday night is huge.
And I got a bit of a bone to pick with the NFL when it comes to their scheduling. Why are there games on Saturday already? I get they do it closer to Christmas, later in the season. We have 3 college football playoff games on this day, and now we have to pick between watching the Bears and Packers and watching, I think that's the Oregon James Madison game, so probably won't be too big of an impact, but it feels weird.
I think your bone to pick needs to be with college football because NFL's kind of always played on started to play
the Saturday
games
before.
on the Saturday after Army Navy.
You're right. Why didn't they do 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday?
Yeah, because then with the way the NFL time slots are, it's 4 and 7:30. Yeah. You could play the 2 early games on Saturday, play 2 late games on Friday. It works out. There's no interference, and people can watch all the games.
Maybe they're like Joey Galloway and Kurt Herbstreit and forgot they played games last week. No. I went there. Isn't that just a sad state of the national media when it comes to college football that they didn't even know? Like Army and Navy.
Yeah.
Like if you are a college football media member, like that is of the top 10 games that you look forward
to.
Probably
it's got to be top 3 or 4.
Iron Bowl, Michigan, Ohio State, Army, Navy. Go on down the line. There's a lot of great games. That should be top 5 that you should want to be at, and you should not forget.
Well, there's one excuse that I watch the Army-Navy game every year, and it was I heard it on a podcast a couple years ago, and it was talking about that is the only game all season where all 22 guys on the field would die for everybody watching in the stands, and that just gets me fired up.
Which have you
watch 3 yards in a cloud of dust for 3.5 hours?
Have you guys seen that when we go to 16 that they're looking at moving that game because there's no way they can fit?
No, they
so that it's either going to be some last game of the regular season, or it's going to be a week 0 game and nobody else can play in week 0.
That wouldn't be a bad way to get the season started.
I'd be okay. Honestly, starting the season with it, I like a little bit more than just throwing it last week of the regular season, because that's going to make that game not feel special at all.
It's not going to get the numbers, but there's just something about they play in Baltimore, they play in Philly, or they play in New York, and everyone's all bundled up and they're in their outfits, and it's
cold, it's cloudy,
it's cloudy. The field looks like mush.
Yes,
there's just something that I just love about that game.
I agree with the setting. I do believe it. I think it's intriguing to go to week 0. I think it could get more eyeballs. I would be more excited to watch. Not that I'm not excited, but July 18th, 19th,
Yeah.
20th, the latter days of July, the first 15 days of August. Like, I'm jonesing for football. I am clamoring for anything.
And then you get this big rivalry.
And then Army Navy right off the bat. I think that'd be good.
Big rivalry. And think about this, since they're in the same conference. It's a conference game.
Well, this year, you could count it as a conference game.
Yeah, but they don't because
they don't right now.
when they play it and win the conference championship. So they could count it as a conference game, and then certain things happen, especially as crazy as the year was this year in some of these conferences, including that one. They could play at the end of the year, and you could get Army Navy and it would be on a home site.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that I like it. I'm just
throwing it out.
And we got really close to having a chance to see it last year because Army and Navy both had really good starts to the year.
And then they would have played each other the very next week. That I wonder how that would have worked out. Well, guys, coming up next, we'll be playing some Keep 'em or Dump 'em in the world of football when we return here on X Sports Today.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years' experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
Good Works at Home, formerly known as the Summit at Home, is a licensed non-skilled agency dedicated to helping you maintain your independence at home for as long as possible. Our compassionate and caring staff provide support in various areas, including dressing, bathing, personal hygiene, transportation, cleaning, and companionship. Please call our office about services, payment options, and long-term care policies at 931-762-2310. We look forward to assisting you with keeping your independence longer.
If you're looking for a company that can do it all when it comes to building, look no further than Tennessee Properties. From new home builds to remodels and commercial projects, our contractors work hard to give your space a new life from planning to finishing touches. Whether it's new interiors or dirt work, they see your big picture without forgetting the small details. In the market for a new home, they partnered with Freeman Development to bring new homes to the Oak Hill subdivision of Lawrenceburg. That's Tennessee Properties, licensed and insured. Call today or visit tennessee.com.
Let me tell you about a place that has it all. For your home, bedroom, kitchen, lawn, and more. It's a home-owned and home-operated business that's been around for over 70 years, so you know they're doing something right. At Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, you'll find top name brands for every room of your house, and top brands for the outside too. Looking for appliances, televisions, couches, safes, bedding, mowers, and well, the list goes on. So make the drive today to 824 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg and be treated right. Southern Craft Manufacturing is dedicated to creating the finest quality and greatest value products in the death care industry. Southern Craft has perfected blending old world craftsmanship with modern manufacturing technologies to create a full line of steel, wood, and corrugated caskets. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, Southern Craft is now looking to hire local and regional truck drivers, welders, and production workers, each with great starting pay and a benefits package. For more information, visit SouthernCraftMFG.com.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Bryant Gobble and Michael Marks. Guys, it's time to play some Keep 'em or Dump 'em. We're going to start off in the world of college football. Keep it or dump it. Diego Pavia might have hurt his chances at the pro level by saying F all the voters and F Indiana.
Well, I think he actually had done before the season, everybody's like, oh, he'll have a nice, fine run, but he's not going to ever make it in the NFL. I think he'd actually done a pretty good job at putting himself maybe on some people's later round draft boards this season, because he played really well this season, and he completely threw all that out the window Saturday. I get he thought he had the best chance, and stats-wise, he probably was the better pick.
Yeah.
But I think the voters also kind of look at personality a little bit, and you see his media tour where he's just going around praising that he's the best, he's the best, he's the best. Well, that killed any momentum he had. So I do think that his little shenanigans this weekend probably hurt any further football he will be playing.
I heard someone talking this morning about their criteria for voting. You said yesterday the most valuable player.
Yes.
I think this guy I heard was talking about he was looking for the most outstanding player. That's a little, I guess, more subjective. Both of them are subjective, but I feel like it's a little more easier to be like, okay, who's the most valuable player to a team versus who's the most outstanding player across the entire college football landscape. That was an interesting discussion that we had yesterday. Pavia, I guess he didn't learn anything from Shedeur Sanders running his mouth, because
he had a shining example right there.
Right, exactly. He'll make a practice squad somewhere, and he'll be able to make it at least a 2 or 3 year career, because the NFL is just constantly needing somebody. But I would just dump him. I don't think he's going to have any success. I don't think he's going to find any footing.
I don't remember where I heard it at, but somebody was talking about he should go play in the CFL, that they're looking for players like that all the time. Not personality-wise, but his skill set. They're looking for guys like that all the time, and he would have an excellent career up there.
I'd love to watch him in the XFL? Is that what's going on now? Whatever they called it now.
Yeah. I think, like I said yesterday, it would. It's the first ever Heisman Trophy candidate in Vanderbilt's history. You make this big turnaround. You were the bottom of the SEC. And now you're near the top. You're not at the top, but you're near the top. You're one of the biggest reasons for this big turnaround. Instead of having a great way to show off your program, show off the growth, and show off Nashville, you made it about yourself. Like, I don't care about the partying. Like, okay, we're all grown-ups. Like, some of these boys are in New York.
He's 23, 24 years old.
They're in New York City for the first time. Like, that stuff sort of happens. Like, I'm not even the least bit bothered by that. No. But, like, you're putting F Indiana, like I told Brian yesterday, those boys want nothing to do with Indiana. Indiana would smoke him. Indiana would take his little head off.
I agree.
And you know what? And they would act like they are Indiana State. They wouldn't react to it. There'd be no high-fiving. They would peel them off the ground, go back into the huddle and do it again. Why? Because Vanderbilt means nothing to Indiana.
Exactly. And like you were mentioning, the look he gave the university was a big thing, because they tell all these kids when you're in high school, when you're going to play in a tournament, you're representing Lawrence County High School, Loretta High School, represent us with some class. And now everybody's just going to remember the one time Diego Pavia went to New York, ran his mouth, and looked like an idiot.
Yeah, and that's again. And he tried to model himself after Johnny Manziel. In the words of Dan Patrick, don't do that.
Don't.
Okay, the partying, Manziel went crazy, but that's your hero, that's your guy.
That's
you
your guy.
Realize
the flame out, the burnout,
one of the biggest busts in NFL history.
Yeah.
And his college stats were miles better than Pavia. I mean, his rushing numbers, people don't realize how good his stats were that year. Manziel had better rushing stats, just rushing, than Jeremiah Love had this year.
Manziel, they built the stadium and probably could have named it after him.
Right. Absolutely.
And Manziel beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Kirk Cignetti won back-to-back Coach of the Year's honors. Is that deserved?
Yes, 100%. I'm usually not a big fan of guys getting Coach of the Year awards back-to-back, because I remember it happened to Tony Vitello a couple years ago because they had that really good year, and then they won the national championship 2 years later. So I'm usually not a fan of it, but in this case, I mean, is there anybody that did anything near the level of what Cignetti did at Indiana? I don't think so. There were some guys like Clark Lee, who brought Vanderbilt back this year, Tony Elliott, who brought Virginia back this year, but they're not in the playoff.
Are they the 1 seed in the playoffs?
They're not the 1 seed in the 13-0 Big Ten champion.
Are they in one of probably the worst college football program of all time?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt might have a case, maybe, but
I think if Vandy made the playoffs,
but Vandy's not the playoff. Vandy's not the 1 seed undefeated in the playoffs. Just beat Ohio State for the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
It's absolutely warranted.
I listened to a 60 Minutes interview with Curt Cignetti talking about how kind of embarrassed he felt when he got there. Nobody cared about football, how bad the facilities were, and how little care it had been taken care of. And just what he's done since then is remarkable.
I could easily find what's today? Tuesday? I'm wearing my Indiana sweatshirt in here on Friday because I could easily find myself cheering for them and do a little bit already.
Yeah. Mendoza's such a likable guy. I mean, his Heisman speech was awesome.
And to bring it back to Pavia, remember, Indiana, bottom of the – he's in a lot of ways, like Brian and I said yesterday, he's a lot like Pavia. Undervalued, under-recruited, had to go to a smaller school.
Transferred in from a smaller school,
went to a program. Now, Diego went there when Vanderbilt was at the bottom. Indiana had already kind of risen out of it, but they needed someone to keep on going.
But we saw this Indiana team as an 8-4, 9-3 kind of team, not a 13-0 Big Ten champ.
He made some throws, like that throw at the end of the Penn State game.
It's throw of the year.
Yeah,
unreal.
It's up there. Yeah, I mean.
Guys, Texas coach Steve Sarkisian says that after 26, when they get return games from Ohio State and Michigan in 26 and 27, they're going to rethink their non-conference schedule because, in the words of Steve Sarkisian, the committee does not value strength of schedule as much as we thought they did.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give a big thank you to Curt Cignetti for this. Yeah. We're going to do the SEC coaching philosophy or scheduling philosophy. It's ruined. I really think that the whole non-conference schedule thing is probably the worst thing in college football right now because you've got to have 12 games. You're going to have your non-conference, 3 non-conferences, and some schedules are going to allow you to kind of manipulate who that group of 5 or Power 5 opponent of yours is going to be every year.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm a Texas or Ohio State, man, I'll schedule a game against Cal or Virginia Tech, like a school that isn't going to have a great year, or Syracuse, something like that. So I'm not having to kill myself against the number 1 team in the country in week 2.
Right.
So you're for or against this 9-game conference schedule?
I've hated it since the start.
Really?
Because I think, it does give you an extra SEC game, but I love non-conference games. I think that those really help you kind of see how your conference stacks up against other games. Like week 1 and week 2 are my favorite weeks of college football, and I think that with the 9-game conference schedule, we're going to lose that glamour from weeks 1 through 3, and now the football season won't really start till the middle of September.
Yeah. I see both sides. I enjoy that Tennessee played Syracuse at first this year, and back before Oklahoma was in the SEC, you remember the
those games
14
were
and
awesome.
15 year when we did a home and home with Oklahoma. That was amazing. Alabama playing Florida State, that's a good matchup.
Well, like we had Pitt come in the year that they were the ACC champs my freshman year. That was awesome.
Right, yeah. So I will miss those games. I also like to think about next season's and Tennessee having the opportunity to play Texas at home, like LSU's coming in, I think Auburn's coming in. We go to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I think those are great matchups for the SEC.
Well, I do like what the non-conference schedule has done in the fact that if you're a freshman at Tennessee and you go in and you play for 4 years and you graduate, you will have played home and away against every team in the conference.
Yeah. I like that. I get why they're doing away with the higher opponents because with that schedule that I just listed for Tennessee, if you go 9-0 against an SEC schedule, it doesn't matter what your other 3 games are. Like your strength schedule's up there. So I get both sides. it's a shame to see these non-conference games go away. It's also understandable because if you play in a tough conference and you have a hard strength of schedule, I believe it was Michigan's schedule that we went over. They have a tough schedule. Michigan has a tough schedule. If you play that gauntlet and you come out at the top 9-0 out of your conference, why would you want to schedule another non-conference game? That's going to make it even tougher when it doesn't need to be.
Oh, and see, and everybody's argument was, I want the SEC to play all these, play non-conference games like everybody else does. Well, if you're already tired of the SEC bias, it's just going to get worse because now all these SEC teams are removing a game against an Appalachian State or a Coastal Carolina with a game against an Arkansas or an Auburn or a Tennessee or an LSU. It's just going to make the SEC look even better.
For Notre Dame, I was looking at their future schedules. 28 and 29, they got a home and home with Notre Dame, and then 32 and 33, they got a home and home with Arizona State.
Yes.
Nothing in between. And then while you guys were talking, I'm reading that Georgia and Florida State, they've got games for 27 and 28 that are supposed to be home and home. Now they're trying to find neutral site games, and Georgia's already delayed their home and home with Louisville to try to. As they said, they want to take it 1 year at a time.
They just want to play every single one of those games in Atlanta.
And it's or Orlando.
Yeah.
And for Louisville's case, like where in. You're not going to play that in Kentucky. You're going to go try to play it here in Nashville. And again, that's a better drive for Louisville fans than what it is Georgia fans. But apart, we were saying this back in the day when they were scheduling all of these games so like 15 years in advance. Like this is going to come back to bite you. Yeah. And
how many of these series are we seeing getting canceled now? I would say percentage-wise, it's probably over 50 to 60% maybe. Because, the Tennessee-Nebraska one I was really excited for got canceled. I'm hoping the Tennessee-Washington one eventually comes to fruition in a couple years. But you just...
Tennessee was supposed to play, was it Navy?
Yeah,
at the first of this year.
I think it was the first year of Heupel or something like that. One of the first or second year of Heupel, and they had replaced it with a game against somebody else, and that had made a lot of people mad.
Tennessee has Georgia Tech home and away, 26-27. Hey, they got us, 28 in Charlotte.
That's right.
And since it's a neutral site game, more than likely that won't get canceled. And then Washington home and away is 29 and 30.
Yeah. I hate the neutral site games. Like, I'm sure I don't.
Yeah. If I was a Tennessee fan, I'd hate that Charlotte.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Charlotte against West Virginia again. I mean,
that was the first play.
The first series.
The first play of the Jeremy Pruitt era. Jarrett Carantano is getting a face mask full of whoever Virginia Tech's or West Virginia's defensive tackle was, like, eats him alive, and then it's a pop pass to the side.
Went backwards.
That was a fumble. That was a horrible
I think
start.
we punted on like 4th and 28 on our first drive of the year.
Talk about indicative, like a microcosm of how the whole Jeremy Pruitt era would have went.
And then we had to let Will Greer and Greg Jennings, David Sills just run all over the field on us.
I loved it.
Yeah, good for you.
It was a great game for us. Hey,
revenge is coming in 2028, whatever.
We'll see.
2030, whatever.
The way Rich Rod's recruiting, we had a top 20 recruiting class.
Okay.
I hope it'd be a fun game.
Yeah, I hope it is. I hope it is too, and I hope we're singing "Country Roads" and y'all can hear it on your way as you're exiting out of the stadium like last time. I have a funny story. Someone from ESPN told me like they were following a bunch of Tennessee fans that, let's just say, enjoyed the beverages at Bank of America Stadium, and one of them was just in tears, crying. He goes, "Man, I hate that we lost, but damn, that's a great song." As they're exiting, so
by the time this comes around, I believe Marshall Manning is going to be leading the Volunteers. So you just get ready for that. that next edition of the Manning.
I hope
tree.
And he's the one reason I don't want Lane Kiffin anywhere near Knoxville.
I hope we have a stud defensive lineman that puts him on his rear end on the first play of the game.
That might happen.
But let's go to some controversy. A media member says something stupid about a college sports. Joe Klatt yesterday, guys, said that he thinks that the NCAA tournament is basketball tournament. I must say, they were on the topic of James Madison and Tulane because God forbid that someone else outside the SEC and the Big Ten gets a chance to play in the playoff. Blame the ACC. That's not James Madison's fault. The ACC did get a team in. However, Yeah, he said that the NCAA basketball tournament's the dumbest thing ever. It's the dumbest thing that we got going in sports because the best teams don't always play for the title.
Oh, Joel Klatt. I mean, he says dumb stuff year round, so this isn't a big shocker to me.
Against the basketball tournament?
Yeah, he hates the basketball tournament because he hates Cinderella teams. Listen, the most fun thing in March is finding some random mid-major team that will have some guy that you've never heard of that's going to be working at State Farm in 6 months go up and put 30 on your team. If you don't enjoy that, then maybe college sports isn't for you.
Basketball's like a tournament sport.
Yes.
Like, does he understand that?
Like he's sitting here, you're putting random teams at random sites at random days and random times. Yeah, that's who you find out that because he goes, that doesn't help you find out the best team. No, it does.
Yeah, it does.
If you are ready to play, if you think you're the best team in the country, you should be able to beat anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah,
I think that's a lazy take.
Here's what he said, Brian. We don't want Cinderellas. We want the best teams playing each other at the end. The NCAA basketball tournament is a joke. It's the dumbest tournament and the least fair tournament in all of sports. Like if they truly are the best teams in basketball, guess what? They'll handle themselves in the first and second rounds. Like Kentucky lost to St. Peter's. Why? St. Peter's was better.
Mm-hmm. They were better that day.
Fairleigh Dickinson. The only 16 seed to win. What?
They were better that night.
No.
UMBC.
UMBC.
There was two.
There's two.
There was two. Yeah.
Why? Because they were better. Mm-hmm. And what happened? Like Purdue and Virginia both turned those into
national
championship runs right after. Why? Well, Fairleigh Dickinson and UMBC were just better.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you are one of these great teams that you say you are, then you handle your business. Mm-hmm. It's a tournament sport. It's a neutral site sport, which is why they play all those tournaments at Thanksgiving. They play all those showcases in Indianapolis and Vegas, then do all the stuff that they're doing
because it's a
now.
Random game at a random place against a random team.
Yes, that's
how you get better.
Like that's how you get better. And that's part of the game. And they've been playing it this way for what? 100 years now. If you are one of the best teams, then you'll handle your business. Just like the CFP. Guess what? If James Madison beats Oregon, James Madison is better.
Yep, they deserve it.
Straight up. Why? Because at neutral site at James Madison, at Ralph Benson Memorial Gym or Hendrick Staggs Stadium, whoever wins that day is the best team.
Yep.
And they will move on. Period. End of story. There's no such thing as a fluky win. Why? Because best teams don't allow that to happen.
Exactly. And then you have years like 2023, I think it was, when you had San Diego State and FAU and UConn and Miami as your Final Four. Yeah, that may not have been the greatest Final Four, but it was interesting.
It was great.
You had at least the two Final Four matchups.
Those teams, like I hate to say it for Tennessee fans, but that Loyola Chicago team, that team was freaking loaded.
Well, look at all the talent that was on that FAU team. They had Elijah Martin, who was the starting point guard for Florida that just won the national championship. They had the big Croatian guy that was at Michigan last year. I mean, that team was loaded.
Yes.
On top of John L. Davis and other great talent they have. These teams are good. You just don't realize it because they're not a Duke or a North Carolina or
you don't
football.
see them every night. They're in Conference USA or they're in the American or they're in the Sun Belt. Yes. And then they, like how many years has like a SoCon team upset somebody? Like the year who did Furman upset when they hit that three?
That was Virginia.
And
then Chattanooga last year, I think, 2 years ago won their first round game.
Because that coach is at South Carolina now.
That's a lazy take. I would maybe understand it if it happened more consistently that poor teams beat better teams, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Last year we had 4 1 seeds as the Final Four.
Like you saw Florida win last year because they were the best team,
right?
And SEC teams knew that by watching them. They were really good throughout the year, and they came in the tournament and ran the table and dominated because they were the best team.
Yeah.
You saw NC State go on a great run.
Yep.
They played great basketball.
And they made it to the Final Four.
They made it to the Final Four.
But they didn't win because they weren't the best team.
Right.
But we were discussing pro sports. How many, like we said yesterday, does the 1 seed guarantee you're in the NFL guarantee you go, if you get that bye week, does it guarantee you go to the Super Bowl?
I mean, it almost hurts you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said, I was telling them yesterday, I think the Bills don't want that 1 seed because they want to keep playing, keep dominating. And you might rack up an injury here and there, but you keep that ball rolling. Like how many 1 seed, like we were discussing it off air, the run that the Predators went on.
Yep.
That they were the 8
started
seed.
The wild card.
They upset the number 1 seed. My team Columbus. They had one of the greatest upsets of all time when Tampa Bay won the President's Trophy, best record in the league, and Columbus swept them.
Yep.
Columbus had to win like 7 in a row at the end of the year just to get the 8 seed. Goes in and dominates Tampa. Like, that's pro sports.
Yeah, well, like
happens all the time.
The year the Titans won the AFC, you know, they got that first round bye, and then they played the Ravens, and the Ravens beat them. And it was the year after the Titans had gone to Baltimore and beaten the top seed Ravens.
So like
Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yes, Jacksonville. That
was Jacksonville. Yeah.
Are you talking like 2008, 2009?
No. I was. They beat the 1 seed Ravens, right? Were the Ravens the 1 seed when Derrick Henry had that big game?
Oh, I remember.
With Lamar Jackson.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about like the Chris Johnson years.
No. I was thinking like
I thought you were talking the Eddie George.
No,
years.
I'm talking about like the Mike Vrabel, Ryan Tannehill.
Titans were the 1 seed and got beat by the Bengals.
That's
what it was. The Bengals. It wasn't
Joe Burrow came in.
Yes.
And Ryan Tannehill had like
3 picks.
3 terrible picks.
Yeah.
And it was like a 13-10 game.
Mm-hmm.
Evan McPherson ate
Evan McPherson shooter.
I saw that one coming. Not gonna lie. Saw that one coming.
There was a lot of mad Cincinnati Bengals mad Titans fans in the Food City Center that afternoon.
Let's go to our one keep 'em or dump 'em in the pros. Are you guys happy or sad that the Chiefs will not be in the playoffs in 2025-26?
I mean, you're going to struggle to find somebody that's disappointed. I
think it's. I'm going to silence everyone for the Chiefs. I'm freaking kidding. We're going to throw a party and we're going to enjoy the playoffs without the Chiefs in it.
Exactly. Like, I'm not happy that Mahomes is hurt or any of that, but they're out of the playoffs. So we're going to get a new Super Bowl champ. I mean, obviously, it looks like that you know, neither of the teams that were in the Super Bowl last year will make it back this year. I mean, obviously the Eagles make the playoffs, but they seem kind of a bit slow. I think this year we're kind of ushering in a new era in the NFL. You got all these first-year head coaches that are at the top of their division. New England Patriots. I get Vrabel's been a head coach before, but they're 11-3. Liam Cohen first year 10-4. Ben Johnson first year 10-4. I think we're going to see a new era of coaches initiated this playoff.
I would like to say this again. My first day that I went on a rant about the Chiefs, I really hate like the Kelsey stuff. I think that gets on my nerves the worst. Patrick brings it on himself when he whines and whatnot, but he is a good football player. Andy Reid is a good coach. They're a fun team to watch. Like, you can't tell me, was it the 21 AFC Championship, the shootout with the Bills and the Chiefs that went into overtime where, was it 13 seconds? I may be misremembering all this, but 13 seconds or something like that to get a field goal. They hit Tyreek Hill over the middle. They hit Travis Kelce over the middle, and bam, they're in field goal range, ready to go. Like, those are fun games to watch. The Chiefs are a fun team because of that. But all the extra stuff that comes with it, the fanfare, the sideshow, the Taylor Swift stuff, I'm okay not seeing that and it just being done with. Here in a couple weeks, it's going to be done, and we don't have to hear about it again until August or July when training camp starts up, and you don't have to see it until September when the real games actually start. Exactly. So I'm all right not seeing that because we've seen the extra stuff. They've been in 4 straight Super Bowls, 3 straight Super Bowls. They've played like all these extra games, and you've had to see them time and time again in these nationally televised games. And it's just like, please let the storylines and the same crap that you see and all the extra fanfare and all the parade stop.
You know,
let me hear somebody else.
I had a feeling that year that the Bengals made the Super Bowl against the Rams that I was like, you know, because they're anytime Joe Burrow is healthy, we're going to be Super Bowl contenders. I'm like, dude, y'all ain't making it back. Like they just felt like one of those teams that was going to be so tough to make it back for the singular fact that the Chiefs were going to win every year. It just felt that way.
Now that the Chiefs aren't, the Bengals can't take advantage because they
don't have a defense.
They're about to be in roster cap hell, and they can't pay a defense. They've paid Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to Joe Burrow all that.
They've
money.
given up 437 points this year. That's second. That is most in the NFL. The next is 420 for the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody other than that is giving up more than 400.
They're so bad.
All right, guys, let's go to our trivia. It is Trivia Tuesday. I did tell them we're going bowl game trivia this week. So we're going to do some team stuff. Then we're going to get into some individual stuff. A lot of random bowl facts. Be a lot to learn. All right, give me the top 5 teams who have played in the most bowl games.
Okay, so let's go old school. So like Notre Dame.
Not in the top 5.
So like you thinking Michigan?
Michigan is not in the top 5.
Whoa. I feel like Penn State was good enough probably most of those years under Paterno.
Michigan is 11th with 53. Penn State is 8th with 56. Actually, there's a 3-way tie for 8th, USC, Penn State, and LSU.
Wow. Well, USC was going to be one of my guesses too.
Played in the not won, but played
yeah,
in the most.
That's another topic.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Number one,
Yep.
7. This is before this. So when they play in the playoff, that will be their that's considered a postseason bowl game. So that will be their 78th. But they have played in 77
Okay.
games.
Oklahoma.
5th, 58 bowl games.
I'm just going to keep going with the red schools. Ohio State.
4th, 59 bowl games.
Georgia.
2nd, 63.
73.
Is this not also a red team?
Reddish,
Okay.
and their colors on that spectrum.
I was going to throw like Yale or something out there because they have so
No.
many national championships.
Nebraska.
I mean, their primary color is not red,
Yeah.
but it's on that red.
Okay.
Is it Florida State?
Nope.
Damn. Those bowl games. I
Give me a
feel like-
conference.
SEC.
I'm really scared to say Tennessee.
It's not.
Tennessee is
I would
6th.
say, I think they're just off.
Yeah.
57 bowl games.
I figured we were in the top 10. I didn't think we'd crack the top
Yeah.
5.
Is it Florida?
Nope.
No, I would say they weren't really great prior to
Oh, we missed.
Steve Spurrier.
LSU, Arkansas. That's stupid. Auburn. That's even more stupid. Georgia.
Is it Texas?
It is
Texas.
Texas.
I was
62
getting
bowl
there.
games. All right. What is the top 5 for most wins in a bowl game?
I think Penn State's number 1 on that one, or pretty close.
They are 5th.
Okay.
They're actually tied for 4th with another school with 33 wins.
I knew they were up there.
Most wins all time. Evers, Michigan.
Michigan's not in the top 10. They've got 20. They're 24 in wins, but they actually have a losing record in bowl games.
Yeah, that's very Michigan, getting a big game and lose it. We'll throw Alabama out there.
Number 1, 45.
And Ohio State.
Not in the top.
Ooh.
They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're 9th.
Most wins. So win a bunch of bowl games. You got to play in a bunch of bowl games.
Yeah.
So some of those other teams I mentioned were like Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is in a 3-way tie for 5th.
Okay.
Is Notre Dame in here?
No.
USC?
They are 3rd.
Okay.
36 bowl wins.
So we got 1, 3, 5. 1 of the 5.
Would Georgia be in here?
Number 2, 38 bowl wins.
I would say. I feel like just the last 10 years under Kirby Smart, getting 10 bowl wins is a ton.
Yeah. So you've gotten one of the top 3, one of the 2 tied for 4th, and then there's a 3-way tie. Well, technically 6, but we'll just go with it.
Texas, are they on here?
Yeah,
as well?
they're tied with Penn State, 33, and then the other 2 teams tied with Oklahoma are both in the SEC.
Did we say LSU already?
They're one of them.
Okay.
31.
Auburn?
Nope.
Florida.
Nope.
Stumped.
How many bowl wins is it?
31.
31.
You know, people forget about the original SEC and Tulane. Just kidding. And
Georgia Tech.
yeah, what's that other one? It's like the Harvard of the South or whatever.
Oh, I think that's the nickname for Mandy. I thought that was the nickname
What
for
am I
Mandy.
thinking of?
Oh, well, like
Sorry.
Sewanee was in that.
Sewanee,
Yeah,
that's what I was
Sewanee was in
thinking
the
of.
SEC.
Come on.
They have read Sewanee's history. One of the years they had like some crazy. They played like 7 games in 12 days.
Oh yeah, and they won them all.
Dogs,
It's
because they're a bunch of
nuts.
dogs.
Yeah.
Bring them back to the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've kind of given
I
up.
would say.
I went home. I started talking about Sewanee.
It's Tennessee.
Is it Tennessee?
It's Tennessee.
Oh man.
Most wins?
Tied, yeah. They're in a 3-way tie for 6. 31 bowl wins.
The,
Hey, you want to know a
how
fun
about that?
fact?
Interesting.
Butch Jones never lost a bowl game at Tennessee. Beat Iowa in 2014. Beat who did they play in 2015? No, Northwestern in 2015, and beat Nebraska in 2016.
All right, guys. Top 5 most bowl losses.
Ooh, so this is probably gonna be a bunch. Well, I think Michigan.
It's got to be Michigan.
Michigan's got to be up here.
They are tied for second
Okay.
with 29 bowl losses.
I was about to say they had a losing record in bowl games, so they had to be.
We
up
have
here.
a tie for. We have a team at the top, tie for second, and a tie for fourth. So that will bring us to.
Would Ohio State be up here as well?
They are tied with Michigan with 29 bowl wins. Ohio State's only one game over 500 in bowl games. Michigan is 24 and 29, so they are 5 games under in bowl
29
games.
losses. Notre Dame, we've mentioned them.
Yeah. Nope.
No,
They're not on the list. I mean,
that's crazy. They don't
Notre
win them. They
Dame
don't
only
lose
been
them.
playing football for 20 years or something.
Notre Dame has only played in 45 bowl games.
Wow, so they must have had some.
And in kind of retrospect, West Virginia's played in 41 bowl games.
Wow.
Texas Tech has played in 41. Arkansas has played in 45. A&M 44. Florida 50. Clemson 51. LSU 56. Miami 44. Tennessee 57. Tennessee's not in the top 5. They're 31 and 26 all time in bowl games.
That's a decent record.
Yeah.
I'd take it.
There's another set of old rivals that are tied for 4th, but they're in different conferences.
Georgia and Georgia Tech.
No, Georgia nor Georgia Tech.
Rivals.
Yeah, you still haven't gotten number 1 yet.
Duke and North
Actually, no, I'm sorry. There's a 3-way tie for first.
Oh wow!
So
So is
we-
it Michigan, Ohio State, and this other team?
Yes.
Oh,
And
man.
then there's 2 tied at 27, so that would be the top 5. There's a 3-way tie for first.
Nebraska.
Nebraska is one of the 2 tied for 4th.
Okay.
So they are 27 and 27 all time in bowl games.
Yeah, batting 500.
Texas.
They are the ones tied with Nebraska.
Yeah.
So you're missing one of the final ones tied for most.
Have we got like a Florida in here?
No, they haven't played enough.
Florida is Pitt. I just saw the name. Florida's 26 and 24 all
Okay.
time in bowl games,
It's not too far off.
and they don't have a
off.
chance to win or lose one
Nope.
this year. So
Facts. Yeah. Who has 20? How many is it? 20.
I would say what's the
29
29 is what you
bowl
need to get on
losses?
there.
yeah,
Okay.
Who has 29 bowl losses?
Is there any SEC schools up here?
it is the SEC.
Okay. Is it like Auburn?
No,
No. LSU?
no.
Alabama?
Yes.
Okay.
77 bowl games. Alabama's 45, 29, and 3. Wow.
So they have one of the most wins and
Yeah.
also the most losses because they played.
Let's go to some fun ones. These
All right.
these aren't exactly. I'm not asking for answers because some of these are frankly impossible. Most total points in a bowl game. The 01 GMAC Bowl when my boys, the Thundering Herd and
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich, led a 30-point comeback against David Garrard in East Carolina and won 64-61 in overtime. So the 125 combined points is the most in a bowl game. Fewest points in a bowl game. We
3.
have had four bowl games where no one scored.
Whoa.
The most recent was Air Force and TCU in the 1959 Cotton Bowl.
59.
Most total points in the first half of a bowl game, and I was actually there for this. The 2015 Independence Bowl when Virginia Tech went in the half on top of Tulsa 45-31.
Yep.
So the 76 combined games.
Good grief.
I was there for that. This game took forever.
Yeah.
And the Wi-Fi sucked in that
Defense
building.
optional.
So
Good
it was
grief.
awful.
They all opted
So
out.
that's the most in the first half. The most total points in the second half of a bowl game is 84.
Whoa.
When Colorado State and Idaho combined for 84, Colorado State outscored Idaho 43-41 in the second half of the 2016
43-41 and
famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
That's 6 touchdowns
Yeah.
a quarter.
Those fries that
Yeah.
got dumped on the coach were cold that day.
Most total touchdowns scored in a bowl game, the 2011 Alamo Bowl,
Oh,
17 combined between Washington and Baylor. That was RG3's
Okay.
Baylor team that they won. Most total yards in a bowl game, that same Alamo Bowl, 1,397
Holy.
combined yards. Washington had 620. Baylor had 777.
Those Baylor
total.
teams were absurd because right after RG3 left was when they
Yeah.
got Bryce Petty, and he was
Yeah.
just throwing for 4,000 yards every year.
Most total first downs, 70 combined between Arizona and Nevada in the 2012 New Mexico Bowl.
Whoa.
Most total rushing yards in a bowl game.
It's Army or Navy won a couple years ago, I feel like.
889 between
Oh.
Baylor and North Carolina in the 2015 Russell Athletic Bowl. Baylor had 645, North Carolina had 244. Most rushing touchdowns in a game, the 95 Copper Bowl, when Texas Tech and Air Force each had 6 for a combined 12. Most total passing yards in a bowl game, 971 between Western Kentucky and Central Michigan, the 14 Bahamas Bowl, and one of the craziest finishes you'll ever see. Western Kentucky had 486, Central Michigan 485. Most total passing touchdowns in a bowl game was the same to 12. Western Kentucky 5, Central Michigan 7. Most total interceptions thrown in a bowl game, 12. Between Auburn and Arizona in the 68 Sun Bowl. Auburn threw 4, Arizona threw 8. Most total fumbles lost in a bowl game, 9 combined between Alabama and Ole Miss in the 64 Sugar Bowl. And their 17 combined fumbles are also a bowl record.
64 Sugar Bowl. I feel like that was one that like Archie played in.
Yep, might have been. Most field goals made in a game, 8 between Notre Dame and Rutgers in the 2013 Pinstripe Bowl. Most total punts in a bowl game, it's happened twice. 28. Santa Clara and LSU in the 38 Sugar Bowl, each had 14. And Rice and Tennessee in the 47 Orange Bowl. Rice with 13, Tennessee with 15.
Classic.
Archie played in 1970.
Okay, so the game I was thinking of, I thought when you meant most rushing yards, it was by a single team. So I don't know why I remember this, but Navy and Pitt played in the 2015 Military Bowl, and Navy ran for 417 yards.
Yeah, we're talking combined.
Yeah, combined.
Yeah. Most total penalties in a bowl game, the 99. It's happened 3 times, 29 in a game. Happened 3 times. The latest, well, it says here, the 99 Peach Bowl, 97 Sugar Bowl, 76 Independence Bowl. Most total yards in a bowl game, combined 315 between Kansas and UNLV 2 years ago in the Rate Bowl. Kansas had 216, UNLV had 99. Most total points by a team in a bowl game, it's happened twice. Army over Houston in the 18 Armed Forces Bowl when they scored 70, and my boys, West Virginia, when they hung 70 on Clemson in the Orange Bowl. I was there for that game. I've never seen a game go out of hand that crazy before.
Before we go off, do you have anything else do you have any other?
I'm just literally reading.
I was going to put you on the spot. Best bowl game, it could be a national championship. Best postseason game, college football that you've seen. What is it? Mine, I guess the most memorable, for some reason, I loved the Auburn Florida State national championship. I loved watching that. It was 2012, 11, somewhere in there, with Jameis Winston and Nick Marshall. I loved that game.
Like the best one we've ever seen, or the best one we've seen in person?
Best one you've ever seen in general, just on TV, in person, whatever.
For me, it was that Vince Young Rose Bowl when Texas beat USC.
That's a good one.
That was really good.
05?
05 or 06. I was going to say that Ohio State-Georgia game from the playoff a couple years ago, but honestly, that and the Michigan-TCU game are really good. The 2015 Cotton Bowl, Michigan State and Baylor. I think that was
a crazy game.
Yes, I would say it was Connor Cook versus Bryce Petty, offense galore. A kicker got lit up on a blocked kick. I mean, it had everything.
Yeah, I definitely the best. It's funny because I've seen West Virginia whip up on teams like they beat Clemson 70-33 in that Orange Bowl. And then it's funny, they hosted Marshall to start the year the next year and beat them 70-35. So they scored 70 in back-to-back games. And then I watched them go in the Fiesta Bowl and just crush Bob Stoops in Oklahoma and hung almost 50 on them, and they just ran all over them. But, man, I do remember that Independence Bowl. That was just because Virginia Tech went up like 4 touchdowns, then Tulsa tied it. And then, I mean, they just kept it was like a basketball game. They just trading runs. It was nuts.
2nd and 26 for Alabama was fun to watch. Tua come in and replace Jalen Hurts.
I think that's the only time I've ever openly cheered for Alabama because I was just so tired of Georgia that year.
So the largest comeback to win a bowl game, it's happened twice.
Is the TCU Oregon at the Alamo Bowl?
It is. That's the 2016 Alamo Bowl, and Texas Tech did it to Minnesota 10 years prior at the Insight Bowl from Arizona State Stadium when they trailed 31s. And both Texas Tech was 38-7. TCU was down 31-0. And, So I mean, go look at it. ESPN, it's up to date. All the things that happened in this game. Wow, most total yards of offense by a player in a bowl game, 594. Ty Detmer for BYU against Penn State in the '89 Holiday Bowl. Obviously, most touchdowns responsible for by a player in a bowl game, 8 by Joe Burrow in the 19 Peach Bowl. Pretty special.
Yeah,
that
was
poor
awesome.
Oklahoma defense.
That was awesome.
Or that poor OU defense.
Was it Oklahoma?
Yeah. Justin Jefferson had like 4 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Did they beat Clemson in the national championship?
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like that was such an just a forgotten playoff just because they ran through everybody.
There was such a good team. And ESPN has them at number 2.
Yeah, I'll go over that one tomorrow.
Most pass attempts by a player in a bowl game, 78 by Mike Kafka of Northwestern in the 2010 Outback Bowl against Auburn.
Good for them.
And my boy Byron Leftwich and Ty Detmer, most passing yards in a bowl game, 576.
Oh my goodness,
dude! Go back and watch the GMAC. Leftwich was just second half. First half was awful, but Leftwich was just throwing straight up throwing dimes.
What year was that?
That was 2001. Okay. My favorite, because it's crazy. They make this big comeback, and all they need is an extra point to win it in regulation, and they miss it and have to win in double overtime.
64-61. Wow.
Yeah, it was, and like every time Marshall would get close, East Carolina would score a touchdown. The Marshall would get close, and finally they got the one stop, go right down the field. Like it's one of the best. I think they got the ball with like 58 seconds left and went 82 yards like it was nothing.
Wow.
And my favorite is who I can't remember East Carolina's coach at the time, but they score the tying touchdown, and he hunches over and he's just doing this.
Steve Logan.
Steve Logan. I think that cost him his job, if I'm not mistaken, because they blew like something like 3 20-point leads in the second half that year.
He coached 2 more years.
2 more, okay, but it was
they went 4-8 the next year, and he was done.
Yeah,
3
yeah, like that. But David Garrard, that man was just. And
okay,
then
they have the full game on YouTube.
Yeah, they do. It's nuts. It's a lot of fun. I remember watching that as a kid.
The uncut ESPN is 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a double overtime.
So I'll put that. That's when you just put on in the morning and pray the sun's still up when you get done.
Well, guys, that will do it for X Sports today. We'll be back again tomorrow. Have some more fun, some Christmas-related things. So for Bryant Gobble, Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.